Hi guys, or welcome back to my channel, Britain F1. If you are new to my channel and you do like the look of this channel, then please hit the subscribe button, and if you do like this video, please give it a massive thumbs up because I would really appreciate if you did that. So in today's video, I want to talk about Aston Martin, as I am so excited for Aston Martin to be on the grid next year. They are of course taking over Racing Point, and it's very exciting as a British fan, as a lover for British motorsport, to have Aston Martin on the grid. And in today's video I want to ask the question, can Aston Martin be a successful Formula 1 team? So to discuss this video we have to take it right back to summer last year, following the departure of Sebastian Vettel from Ferrari. Now this was a massive shock to fans, to everyone up and down the paddock within Formula 1, because Sebastian wasn't actually meant to leave Ferrari as early as he did. But after a few really bad years at Ferrari, it was time for him to go really. He couldn't really stay there. It was having a massive effect on his driving. The toxic environment wasn't great, and just recently we saw the massive effect Ferrari has had on Sebastian's hair. So then of course rumours started to circulate that Sebastian would be moving to Aston Martin. Now at the time it seemed like not a great move. It seemed a bit like a downgrade in Sebastian's eyes, but now that I've looked at it more in depth and from where Sebastian has been, I actually think this could be a great move for Sebastian. So Aston Martin of course have a really strong lineup in my eyes of Sebastian Vettel, a four-time world champion and a winner of 53 races, and of course Lance Stroll, who isn't shy of a podium or two. So in my eyes it does seem like a great lineup. But there is still a few question marks around Sebastian, because obviously he's had a few bad years at Ferrari. He has just been the spinning king, and we kind of want him to go to Aston Martin and perform well. But there are still a few question marks around him. Has he lost his mojo? Is he going to get back to the winning ways we all know and love from Sebastian? Now the one thing that is really great about this lineup and bringing in Sebastian to the Aston Martin team is that Sebastian brings a lot of experience. This will now be his third team that he is going to. Of course he was at Red Bull and Ferrari, so now can come to this smaller team than both of them teams and bring a lot of experience. He's a lot more knowledgeable now that he's a lot older, and I think he could really help this team to grow and maybe even be back on the podium where it belongs. Also, when Sebastian is happy and comfortable within a team, we know he can do amazing things. We just have to look back at his time at Red Bull. He was non-stoppable back in the day, and that's because the team revolved around him. Everyone looked up to Sebastian to perform, to tell the team how to improve, and I think that is one thing we can rely on when Sebastian goes to Aston Martin. Now looking to the 2021 season, there of course isn't many changes to the car, and looking at how Racing Point's car was last year, because it's obviously going to be the same car as what Racing Point was, I think this car is going to be very suited to Sebastian's driving style. The Racing Point seemed a lot easier to drive, didn't lose the back end compared to the Ferrari. That Ferrari looked shambolic, it looked so hard to drive, the back end would just absolutely lose it, and that is why Sebastian started to become the spinning king. So now that Sebastian is obviously going to be driving that Racing Point, I think it is going to be a lot suited to his driving style. And when Sebastian has the right feel, the right rhythm for a car, we know he can do great things. So I'm really excited to see him in the Aston Martin, and I think he can also put it where it needs to be. He can maybe even fight for podium places, because that Racing Point was so strong last year. I mean, it was a copy Mercedes. So this is obviously going to be of a similar style. So I think Sebastian is going to perform really, really well, which I'm very excited for. Now, of course, we have Lance Stroll, who actually didn't have a bad 2020 season. He's really starting to pick up really good performances. I think he did fall off a little bit nearer the end of 2020. I mean, he still got 2 or 3 podiums, was it in the end? Maybe 2? I can't exactly remember. But he did do some really good performances, and I think he's going to really benefit from having a teammate like Sebastian. You know, Lance is still very, very young, even though he's been in the sport, which feels like forever now. So I think he can pick up a lot of experience from Sebastian. I think both of them will work really well together. I think they'll have a good few battles on track, which will be quite exciting. Now, we all know that Lawrence Stroll, of course Lance Stroll's dad, bought the team, and he's obviously rebranded it to Aston Martin, which is an absolute genius idea from the billionaire. It's such a gold mine now for sponsors, because when we look at Racing Point, it just doesn't sound like an exciting Formula 1 team. But now you've brought in Aston Martin, it's an iconic brand, iconic name, and sponsors are just going to want to snap the brand, the company up and invest in the team, which is going to produce so much money for that team. A team that has had so many financial difficulties over the last few years. So you're just going to really benefit from this now, and I think it's going to really rejuvenate the team. It's quite a small team, so I think having this new branding, this new excitement, it's just going to produce positivity surrounding the team. The driver lineup is great, and I think only great things are going to come from this team. Now, the team as well, I think, is going to do very well for the 2021 season. As I previously said, it is basically the Mercedes and it of course got the iconic names of Racing Point and the pink Mercedes for the 2020 season, but as it is a new brand, we can't really give those names anymore, but we all know it is basically going to be a green Mercedes. So I think they will do very well for the 2021 season, and I think again we're going to have a very close battle within the midfield for the 2021 season. However, I do think Aston Martin might start to struggle when it comes to 2022 and the new regulation changes. They're going to have to think of the whole new dynamic of the car themselves as something they haven't really done for the last few years, because of course they have basically taken the style of the Mercedes and just put it on their own car with a few little changes, of course. But I think they might struggle when it comes to the new reg changes, but I'm hoping with the right team around them, the growing philosophy with Sebastian on board, it could really help them grow, and hopefully they do nail the regulation changes, because I would hate for a team like Aston Martin, the brand, the heritage, to really fall back to the back of the grid, and to have a 4-time world champion within the team not do so well with what should be an iconic team would just be a complete disaster. So I hope they do well for the new reg changes, but again there's still a lot of question marks if they will nail the reg changes. Now, an interesting thing that has happened recently is that Mercedes have bought 20% of Aston Martin. Now, this is more within the commercial side of the brand Aston Martin, within their everyday cars, that type of thing. They have said it's nothing to do with Formula 1. But I believe this will have a knock-on effect within Formula 1. We know that they are using the Mercedes engines, so I think this is going to produce a tighter bond, and maybe even start to produce a sister team for the Mercedes. We have, of course, the Red Bull and the Alpha Tauris, who used to be the Toro Rosso. They obviously have a sister team, and that's the direction I can kind of see Mercedes going with Aston Martin now that they have bought this 20% stake within the company. I think it could be quite beneficial for Mercedes future drivers, put in younger talent that Mercedes want to have for the future within the Aston Martin team. I think that is a direction I could see them going. You know, money talks within Formula One, and now that they have a lot of investment, a great driver lineup, I think it's only going to produce great things for the team. The team has always been looking over their shoulder with money problems, so now they have a lot of backing. It is great, and I don't think they will be in any trouble anytime soon. And the fact that they were able to buy Perez out of his contract to put Sebastian in just shows that they are not shy of money now, because to lose a driver like Sergio Perez, who brings a lot of financial backing, is pretty massive. So for them to do that, for them to be able to buy Sergio out and put Sebastian in, was a pretty big deal, and it just shows that they are obviously not shy of money anymore. So back to the question of, do I think Aston Martin can be a successful Formula One team? I think yes, they can be. I feel like they are going to do very, very well for the 2021 season. I think if Sebastian can get to grips with this car, which I think he will, I think it will be a very good drive for him, that his driving style will suit the car. I think they are going to be great, because once Sebastian has a car under him, there's no stopping that guy. And we all know what Lance Stroll can do when he's in his rhythm, when he's having a great day. He can be excellent as well. So I think this team does have great potential. I am still worried about what will happen to them for the new regulation changes. If they get it right, they will be great, but if they get it wrong, it could be a massive mistake. It could be one of the worst stories to come out of Formula One. So I'm hoping that they do nail it. I think they will. So yeah, I have a lot of positivity around this team. I think they can do great things. They have now financial backing, which is absolutely amazing. So I do think Aston Martin can be a successful Formula One team. Let me know how you guys feel about Aston Martin. Are you excited to see them on the grid? And do you think they will be a successful Formula One team? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you do like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit that big button down below, because I would really appreciate it. Love you all, bye!